all things ATL. For everything Falcons. First to the end zone, touchdown. This is Peachtree Football. Now, your hosts, Dylan Matthews and Beau Morgan.
Well, Ross, again, we appreciate you hopping on Peachtree Football, and it is called Peachtree Football because we focus on all things Atlanta Falcons. So let's go ahead and get into the Atlanta Falcons talking. Ross, I'm going to go ahead and ask you what the people are dying to know, what you think. Can Desmond Ridder lead the Falcons to an NFC South Division championship as QB1? Can he do it? Does he have the tools? Is he good enough to be the Falcons franchise QB and lead them to a division title this year?
Yeah, so I think the answer is yes. And I think right now the Falcons and the Saints are probably co-favorites in that division, but I would give the edge to the Saints just because I feel more comfortable with Derek Carr and what I've seen him do. I guess I look at the Falcons last year, and this is kind of how I look at it, right? They won 7 games last year.
Right.
It's not like Mariota was lighting the world on fire. Okay. They lost Kyle Pitts to an injury. They didn't have Bijan. So Ritter's not going to play worse than how Mariota and Ridder played last year. Right? He's not going to be worse.
Right.
And then defensively, I mean, I remember watching the Falcons play defensively last year, and that might have been the least amount of starters that I could name on a defense in the NFL in a long time. I mean, it was like Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell. Was Deion Jones still there? Like Deion, I mean, he wasn't even it's unbelievable. Like, whereas this year, they bring in Calais Campbell. You got Bud Dupree. You know, I knew Anderson last year because I did the FCS championship game. I like him, Troy Anderson. But now you bring in Jesse Bates. I mean, and Okudah, we'll see what he does. We'll see what some of these guys do. You bring in some of these guys from the Saints like Caden Ellis, Onyemata. I mean, they should have a much better defense. They have much better players. And so to win 7 games the last 2 years like they did, I don't see how they don't win 8, 9, or 10 this year, which probably puts them right there to win the division. So, yes, he can. I don't know, man. The reports don't seem all that favorable when you hear what they're saying about Ridder at camp, or even if you watch him last year, man, some of the throws that he made, it was a little bit like, ugh. But he was a rookie, and you're hoping that this year he can take another step forward.
Well, and in that, because I want to stay on Ridder for a second off what you just said, there were also some throws that he made. There was a throw against Baltimore that was like, wow, I didn't think Desmond Ridder could make that throw because he's backpedaling, kind of sidearms it to Drake London across the field. Do you think if Drake London had a 1 or a 2 next to that round that he was drafted in instead of a 3, that it would be a little bit more people would favor him more and he would get less criticism, and the team would get less criticism for going with him to start the season instead of going after Lamar or moving up in the draft to get a starting quarterback?
Well, there's no question that your draft status stays with you really forever, right? I mean, really, I experienced that as an undrafted free agent. I mean, it cracks me up when these guys stink as rookies, as first-round picks, but they keep them in there. And then the next year, they're pretty – Andrew Thomas, the former Georgia Bulldog, offensive tackle for the Giants, a good example of that. If you're not a first or second-round pick, you don't even get that chance to play again if you stunk the whole year. You know what I mean? You don't even get that opportunity. So it does stay with you. I don't know what they'd be saying about – I mean, I think that the expectations would be higher. The hope would be he would get more of the benefit of the doubt if Ridder was a first-round pick. Yeah. I think because he wasn't, I think if he struggles early in the year, you'll hear people calling for Heineke pretty early, definitely earlier than they would have if Ridder was a first-round pick. Just the way it works. It's nobody's fault. It just is.